Okay, it's been a hot second. Quick update on the last however long it's been since my last video. Finally in the sales position, so I switched and I'm doing sales stuff now. Not that you guys care about that part, but it's exciting and I like sales a lot more than what I was doing before, so that's fun. Um, and I haven't done really anything for pairs after the trade show that we did, the Rev Road trade show. Um, like I kind of just said, okay, I'm going to now wait for Bubble to release their development program, and I'm just going to enjoy having more spare time over the next few months. So I've really just been relaxing, finishing up on some anime and all that stuff until this last week. So I'm not recording with my nice camera. I'm recording with the computer camera because I have to use my phone for this next piece. So the thing I did this last week was update and do like a second version of the interface for pairs. So version one that I did at the Rev Road trade show, you can kind of see, right? Like, oh man, it's got one card with people's information. You hit yes or no. That was the version that we showed at the trade show, and that's what all dating apps look like right now. It's like a thing you can swipe left or right. You can hit more information and see more stuff. But that's generally you just see one person at a time. But we had the idea: what if you could see multiple people at a time? And so here's what a version two looks like. So you can kind of see here. It's not great because whatever, but you can see multiple cards, and if you tap on somebody like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, then you can like where is it this way? You can swipe between their pictures. But the idea is seeing more people faster. So you see one person at a time and you're just left, right, left, right. Um, it's very slow. Like you have to look at a person left or right, look at a person left or right. But with this version, you could potentially just pull it open and then put your filters in, like, hey, we just want to see couples who have this interest in this area at this age range. And then you just see a list view. And then it's very fast. You can the main purpose of the app, which is matching people with people who have who have the same interest. That's the core function, and we're making that core function faster because now it's like, oh, I don't have to say yes or no to anything. I could just pass and be like, scroll, 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 and like, oh, they look cool. Tap on their card and then pull up more information, see more about them, and then make your decision from there. Um, the other thing, I talked to two people at work who I've been keeping up to date on this, and I actually got good feedback. They said they prefer that list view over one person at a time. So they prefer to see multiple people. And one of the reasons that I heard was the person said they felt judgmental if they had one person and they have to say yes or no. What if they're like, I don't want to hang out with that person, but I feel bad saying, like, no, I don't want to hang out with them. Which I don't know if everybody will experience that, but that person did. And so having the list, it's like I don't have to say yes or no. I could just pass them and then do nothing. So I think that's another benefit when you're in couples and you don't want to have to do anything with a card. You might, I'll just save that one for later. Then it makes it very easy. It's just like, hey, I'll remember that one for later and we'll just pass for now. We can just pass. So, um, based on the four people that we've asked so far, which is me, my wife Bailey, and the two people at work that I talked to, I think when we design the full version of the app this summer and we build it out, we're going to use that list view. And that'll be cool. I think it'll be cool to test that, maybe get people's feedback from our first 100 users.
Okay, I'm editing the video from a while ago, and I needed to throw this in because I just realized one thing that makes me hesitant to use the list view over the first version that we had, which is what every dating app has, one card swipe left or right on one person at a time. And it's that the network effect is, what am I trying to say? When you're swiping one person at a time, you can't tell how many people are on the app, but you know that there's at least one more because you swiped and there's another person. In a list view, if you were to put in your filters, and let's say I wanted people within 25 miles around my house or around my city, and then I want people who are interested in these three things like football, basketball, baseball, and I want people in this age range from 25 to 30. In the list view, you might see that there are only 8 people on the app who fit those criteria. And I feel like that hurts the app. If people are on the app and they see just a very few number of people, like here's what my preferred filters are, here's the number of people that meet that. If it's only 8, they're going to go look at those 8 in about 2 seconds and go, oh, I don't want to hang out with any of them. And they're just going to delete the app. That's what I would do. They're probably not going to expand their filters and expand their search. Whereas if you had it one at a time, at least they have to swipe and look at 8 profiles individually, and that will take long. So I'm a little hesitant to use list view just because of the network effect. You want people to think that there's a lot of people on the app, or at least you want them to think there's more people on the app than there actually are in the early stages. Or people need to get on the app with this idea that there are lots of potential matches for them. If they put in their filters and they see that there's only 10 people on the app, or if they see that there's no people on the app with those filters, then they're just going to jump off the app because they're like, okay, well, the people I want to hang out with aren't on this app. That is actually starting to make me think that I shouldn't put filters in the app at all. So you shouldn't be able to filter. It should just be look at the people in your area. I'm not going to let you filter anything. We might do something where if somebody has a similar interest, it'll show up as like a highlight or a little icon will appear. But we're just going to show you everybody in your area who's on the app, and then you get to decide that. So kind of incentivizing people to spend more time on the app looking through individual profiles rather than trying to give them shortcuts. Because if you give them shortcuts, they won't give people a chance who they may otherwise give a chance. I don't know. We'll see. But throwing that out there, I'm just going to splice as the end of my video. So there you go.
I've got 2 more things that I was going to update actually. So one of them was uh, for my sales job at work, I tweeted Alex Hormozy and asked him about how to do like new logo acquisition, which is what I have to do. And while I was on Twitter, I realized um, that Cliff Lerner answered a question like back in November of last year that I never saw. And so I was gonna just briefly share that response that he gave. So I had finished the version on Bubble's um, web app builder. So I had a version. It was our demo, but it was fully functional and it was on basically Safari or on your browser on your phone. And I asked him, "Hey, we officially launched the app on like a demo of the app, and now the trouble is getting users. How would you do that? I'm thinking we're going to run some ads. What should we do?" I think I also mentioned social media, and then another version I was like, should we just go raise money from investors with this MVP and then use that money for ads? So I asked him, I said, hey, what route would you take? That was back in November. And here is Cliff Lerner's response. Again, shout out to Cliff. You've been a homie this whole time, and I appreciate helping me out. So he said, hi, Miles. Yeah, in this market, you won't find investors until you have traction. There's no magic formula to getting the first 100 fans. Every founder's journey is different, usually through trial and error, leveraging some edge they have. I say first 100 fans because once you have those through brute force, you'll see how the traction and word of mouth is or what needs to be fixed with the product. Personally, I don't believe any consumer social product should go use ads to grow until it's already growing by word of mouth. Best of luck. That was end of November. So basically, what the conclusion that we've come to over the last few months is exactly correct. Investors don't care until you have traction. You shouldn't run ads until you've got word of mouth. And it sounds from what he said like your first 100 people will be enough to see what's good with the product, what's bad with the product, and to see if you're going to start getting any word of mouth. Because if you talk to 100 people, I guess that's enough to see, do they share it with their friends? Do they spread it with somebody else? And can you go from 100 to 1,000 just by word of mouth? So I think this summer, after we build the app, maybe hold off on running ads for a bit and first get our 100 users. Just go find 100 people, contact 100 friends or family or whatever it's going to take, then go from there. Overall, this is a quick update. I'm probably not going to post another video for a month or so while I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to enjoy spring. We got to the weather's finally better, so I can go outside more often. Bailey and I have been going on more walks, and so when I come home from work, instead of grinding on pears, I've just been taking it easy and relaxing a little bit and practicing patience until the summer when Bubble does their thing. So that's what we got. That's where we're at. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys in the next video.